In the world of digital finance, timing is everything. And right now, as AFX trades at $0.08260, a subtle but seismic shift is underway. The conversation isn't just about another listing or an exchange expansion. It's about Hong Kong, the heart of Asia's financial evolution, becoming the launchpad for a new chapter in Aifex's history. What's happening behind the scenes isn't mere speculation or marketing. It's the convergence of regulation, institutional trust, and decentralized ambition coming together under one coordinated vision. To understand why the Hong Kong expansion matters so much, you have to first understand what AFX has been building toward. From its earliest days, Aifex positioned itself differently. It never wanted to be just another token chasing hype or listings. The ecosystem was built as a hybrid model, where artificial intelligence meets decentralized finance, and where every major move, whether a DApp rollout or a staking update, fits into a larger blueprint. That blueprint, we now realize, always pointed toward global recognition. The Hong Kong exchange listing is not an endpoint. It's the bridge between legitimacy and scale. Hong Kong's financial ecosystem has long been a beacon of both caution and ambition. For years, it balanced traditional finance with emerging fintech innovation. When Beijing tightened mainland crypto policy, Hong Kong stepped into a new role, a regulatory sandbox for global blockchain innovation. Aifex's decision to position itself there signals something precise. This isn't a speculative move for attention. It's a declaration that AFX is ready to operate at the same level as regulated digital asset infrastructures. For investors, that distinction changes everything. It means AFX is entering a space governed by compliance, institutional oversight, and transparent operation, something most projects never achieve. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority's recent push for clear digital asset frameworks has attracted dozens of exchanges, but few with the technological backbone of Aifex. What makes AFX's case unique is the alignment between its ecosystem roadmap and the region's new licensing requirements. The AI와 DeFi architecture allows AFX to operate with verifiable smart contracts, real-time auditability, and transparent liquidity channels, exactly the kind of structure that regulators want. It's not just about listing, it's about fitting into a system designed for sustainability. Internally, sources close to Aifex's operations describe this phase as the company's regulatory convergence period. Engineers, compliance officers, and developers have been aligning every back-end component of the staking, rewards, and ecosystem distribution systems to meet Hong Kong's audit standards. The most crucial part is the Proof of Liquidity framework, a mechanism that ensures staking and DeFi activity can be traced and verified without compromising user privacy. If successful, it could set a benchmark for how hybrid decentralized exchanges operate in regulated territories. And once that model proves effective, it could open doors to expansions in Singapore, Dubai, and eventually London. But let's zoom in on the heart of this transition, the CX listing itself. A CX, or centralized exchange, is often seen as the final stamp of credibility for any token. Yet for AFX, it's more strategic than symbolic. Listing in Hong Kong under a regulated entity means that trading volumes, liquidity provisioning, and even user data management will operate under transparent conditions. That's not only appealing to retail investors, but also to institutions looking to enter the digital asset market cautiously. When liquidity from traditional finance meets AFX's structured ecosystem, you get something rare, a hybrid economy where AI trading intelligence and decentralized finance converge with compliance-grade infrastructure. This has been the long game all along. Aifex's strategy wasn't to rush listings or hype cycles. It was to build quietly until the ecosystem could stand alongside the world's most credible digital financial systems. That's why the announcements from Korean and Hong Kong leadership meetings are so measured. They reveal progress without overexposing operational details. The teams know the stakes. One misstep during regulatory approval could delay the listing for months. But right now, everything points to methodical execution, not improvisation. And in the crypto world, that discipline signals maturity. Now let's talk about investor psychology. When a project like AFX positions itself for a Hong Kong listing, it creates a dual narrative, one visible, one invisible. The visible one is easy to grasp. an exchange listing that expands access and volume. But the invisible one is far more powerful: regulatory validation. Once a token is accepted under the scrutiny of Hong Kong's digital asset regime, it signals to banks, payment processors, and institutional partners that this isn't a speculative coin. It's a compliant digital instrument. The psychological shift among investors can be profound. Suddenly, AFX isn't being compared to mid-cap DeFi tokens anymore. It's being compared to the infrastructure layer projects that power real economies. The question many holders are asking is, how will this affect the price? There's no simple answer, but history gives clues. Every time a credible project transitions from regional to regulated trading, it experiences a liquidity wave, not necessarily an instant price explosion, but a sustained increase in confidence and long-term stability. When confidence rises, volatility decreases. When volatility decreases, institutions step in. And when institutions step in, the cycle of organic growth begins. That's the path AFX is aligning itself with. It's not chasing pumps. It's engineering trust. Hong Kong, unlike most jurisdictions, doesn't tolerate short-lived fads. Every exchange there must meet capital reserve requirements, anti-money laundering standards, and cybersecurity audits. AFX preparing for a listing there means every system, from wallet integration to staking yield calculation, is being pressure tested against those standards. That effort filters down into every level of user interaction. When the system is strong enough to meet audit-grade scrutiny, everyday users inherit that safety by default. That's why, even now, as AFX holds steady at $0.08260, its true value isn't reflected just in price. It's in the underlying infrastructure being built to last. Let's not underestimate the timing either. The AI DeFi space is heating up again, with investors seeking sustainable yield rather than speculative returns. Projects that can bridge real-world compliance with decentralized autonomy are scarce. AFX is stepping into that void with a proposition few can match: AI-powered trading intelligence fused with transparent DeFi yield mechanisms. The Hong Kong listing acts as the access point to scale that model globally. Once the CX integration is complete, it's expected that staking rewards and liquidity channels will operate seamlessly between the DApp and the exchange, creating a unified ecosystem. Imagine being able to stake, withdraw, and reinvest directly from an exchange environment that mirrors DeFi efficiency. That's the future AFX is building toward. But what makes this move different from past exchange announcements is that it's not driven by hype. The leadership communications are clear about that. The tone is strategic, almost surgical. This is not about chasing volume. It's about establishing roots. That phrase has appeared in multiple community translations from the Asian leadership teams. It encapsulates the mindset perfectly. By rooting the ecosystem in a regulated market like Hong Kong, Aifex is signaling that it wants to build where regulation isn't the enemy. It's the framework for expansion. Over the next few months, as the approval process moves forward, investors will likely see the first visible indicators of this shift. Exchange partnerships will begin teasing liquidity pairings. Institutional custodians may begin to appear in documentation. And the AFX dashboard will likely update to reflect synchronized trading data between the DApp and the exchange layer. Each of those changes will represent more than technical progress. They'll mark a philosophical evolution: the integration of AI-driven decentralization into the heart of regulated finance. From a macroeconomic lens, Hong Kong is the perfect starting point. It's positioned between Western capital markets and Eastern innovation hubs. That geographic and political balance gives it the flexibility to innovate while maintaining the trust of global regulators. For AFX, launching in Hong Kong means gaining access to a diverse liquidity ecosystem that includes hedge funds, retail traders, fintech startups, and institutional custodians. It's not just about trading volume. It's about legitimacy. Every major DeFi success story eventually collides with the need for compliance, and Hong Kong provides the bridge that most never find. The most fascinating part of this journey is how AFX's internal community has evolved alongside these developments. Early investors once focused solely on staking percentages and token burns are now discussing governance frameworks, proof of liquidity mechanisms, and long-term sustainability. That's not by accident. The transparency of the AFX team's communications, especially during the Korean and Hong Kong leadership briefings, has gradually reshaped the community mindset. They're not just investors anymore. They're participants in a larger experiment. Can a decentralized AI ecosystem integrate into the world's most regulated markets without losing its autonomy? As AFX prepares for that moment, it's worth noting the scale of the challenge. Regulatory integration isn't a matter of simple paperwork. It requires technological adaptation at every level, from AML-compliant transaction monitoring to smart contract audit trails. Each of these layers must align perfectly before a project can even apply for listing consideration. That's why so few DeFi-based tokens attempt this route. But AFX's AI foundation gives it an edge. The same algorithmic intelligence that powers its trading models can also be used to automate compliance checks and risk modeling. In other words, the technology itself becomes the compliance tool. If you step back and look at the bigger picture, this is where the evolution of crypto is heading. The days of speculative pump-and-dump cycles are giving way to sustainable, regulated integration. AFX is positioning itself at the forefront of that transformation. The Hong Kong listing isn't just another chapter. It's the pivot point where DeFi moves from experimentation to institutional adoption. When that happens, the ripple effects across the ecosystem could redefine what trust means in digital finance. And perhaps that's the most underappreciated aspect of this entire story. Trust isn't built on promises or roadmaps. It's built on consistent execution. Aifex's steady rollout, from the DApp transition to the staking protocol overhaul, and now the Hong Kong expansion, shows that consistency in action. While other projects chase narratives, AFX is riding one grounded in structure. And that's exactly what long-term investors look for when the hype fades. The road ahead won't be without volatility. Market reactions will fluctuate, community sentiment will shift, and competition will rise. But the foundation being built now, compliance-grade DeFi, fused with AI scalability, is what will carry AFX through the next market cycle. As regulations tighten globally, projects that already operate within compliant frameworks will have the advantage. Those that don't will fade. It's that simple. So, as the Hong Kong CX listing moves closer to reality, the implications are clear. AFX isn't positioning itself to be just another token in circulation. It's positioning itself to be infrastructure, the base layer upon which the next generation of decentralized, intelligent finance can operate safely, transparently, and globally. And if history has shown us anything, it's that the projects that adapt to regulation before being forced to are the ones that last. This is the turning point. AFX isn't just entering Hong Kong. It's entering legitimacy. The groundwork being laid today is what will define the ecosystem for years to come. Whether you're an early believer or a new observer, one fact remains. When compliance meets innovation, and when transparency meets AI, the result isn't just another token. It's a system built to endure.